Good morning. This is Dr. Bill Williams. Here we are on the Influencers Podcast. Thanks for being with us here. It's a Friday. You're looking forward to the weekend, I know. But before we do that, let's bring on Nicholas Kowalczyk from WellOiled Marketing up in New Jersey. Welcome to the Influencers Podcast, Nicholas.
Hey, Dr. Williams. Happy Friday.
Good. It's always good to finish up the week with a superstar marketer. WellOiled Marketing has been going on for 4 years, I understand, and you got a lot of expertise, web analytics, paid media expert. You've done it for a while with many companies. Now you got your own. So I'd kind of like to find out how you got started. What was your background and what are you doing right now?
Yeah, definitely. So WellOiled Marketing is a performance marketing agency, and we help businesses grow by using paid media, social media, email marketing, and on-site optimization. We really got our start from previously in my past life. I worked at a variety of different agencies. And so over time, what I've realized is when you're working at an agency, you can only really touch one portion of the project, where when it comes to marketing, helping small businesses grow, there's a variety of different areas that you really need to assist in. So that's why we created WellOiled Marketing. So it's not just pigeonholed to one portion of the marketing funnel like paid media, but we can also assist with things like social media, email marketing, and like I said, on-site optimization.
So you used to shoot with a rifle. You had one expertise that you really focused on. Now you got your shotgun. You're doing a whole bunch of things that fit the needs of the individual companies you work with.
Exactly. I think that we can be a lot lighter on our feet. And really, once we figure out what the issue is for that business, then we can dive deeper into helping that individual grow.
Good. It kind of makes me think of when people put all their eggs in one basket, they don't do as well sometimes as if they have many solutions to solve a problem. Did you ever have a failure story related to your marketing business? And what did you learn from that?
Yeah, definitely. It's a great question. So when we were starting WellOiled Marketing, like many businesses that are just starting out, I think you really take any project that comes your way, even if it doesn't align with your values and your skill set, right? You're growing, you need revenue to come into the business so that you can grow. So you take on a variety of different projects. And over time, even though you're taking on these projects that don't really align with your values, or like I said, even sometimes your skill sets, you figure out that over time that's draining and you don't want to work on those projects. So what we've learned in the beginning is, and it's kind of like the failure of it, is that we really started to remove ourselves from those types of projects and really niche into things that we were really good at, like paid media. So that was kind of the lesson from us, and how we kind of recovered from it was that we worked on those projects and were able to manage them to a point where we could hand them off and slowly release ourselves from those projects. And like I said, focus on things that we care about and that we're really good at.
You really do hit a touchy point for some people, is the word paid media. Put money into something, you don't know if you're going to get the return on investment. Tell us 3 things that people do in the paid media area that fail because they don't really understand paid media when they're trying to do it on their own.
Yeah, definitely. That's another great question. So I think the first thing is everyone thinks that paid media is quick, fast results, right? I'm paying to be in front of individuals. So if I give out the money, it should come back as a return, right? However, you need to have a really well thought out strategy so that you can kind of continuously push new messaging and really build trust with individuals. So just like anything in paid media, marketing, or life, it takes time. Right. So that's the first thing, is everyone thinks it's going to be fast results. The second thing is, I think people think that you can just put an ad out there and you'll get a return. And I think that you need to have a well-structured strategy from awareness to remarketing and conversion campaigns to really assist with what I continuously say is the full marketing funnel. And lastly, I think when it comes to paid media, it's just targeting. Like, people think that you can just go after one specific audience that you have in your head. And I think that the real magic of paid media is the ability to test. So you can create a variety of different audiences, personas, or keywords that you're targeting, and over time test what's working best for your business, not just what you think is best for your business.
Hey, that's really good. TST, time, strategy, and targeting is your TNT.
There you go.
The dynamite is good. I like it. motivates, and that's really the key to things happening in a lot of businesses. If you're not motivated to make it happen and stick to it when it's not working, things aren't going to work. So tell us, Nick, what motivates you internally to keep going, develop your own company, be the boss.
Yeah, definitely. I think always at a young age, I had a very entrepreneurial spirit. And that's really one of the main things that motivates me on a day-to-day basis is that I really enjoy being an entrepreneur. I think it's one of the biggest challenges that I've had to face in my life so far. And it really has pushed me as an individual to grow and learn. And I think that that's where that's why I really do this every day is because I have the ability to learn and grow. I look back where I was 4 years ago compared to where I am now, and I've changed as a person 20 different times, all for the better.
So have you reached the status of digital nomad? Have you reached the status of having a laptop lifestyle?
No, I think, that's, those are good for YouTube ads, which are, great, but I still am putting a large amount of time and effort into the business. There's always new challenges to grow. And, maybe one time in my life, I'll be lucky enough to live that lifestyle. But right now it's, we're really putting in the time and dedication to grow the business.
You primarily working from home though?
Yeah, primarily working from home.
Okay. Where the internet glitches do happen.
Yes, I apologize. It's been going on all day.
Pop up on the screen. Hey, that's okay. Let's jump into some real niche things that you do, your success secrets. What are you doing, particularly if you're using AI? I want you to focus if you have put AI into your business.
Yeah, definitely. I think so. Some of the top three, I don't think there's any real secrets to success, right? I think for me, really, it's just having a routine that I kind of follow on a daily basis. Besides that, from an AI perspective for our business, yeah, I think that there's a ton of areas that we've started to explore in the business of using AI. I think it's an incredible, think of it as a buddy or a really smart intern that you have that's working with you. So I think a lot of brainstorming when it comes to campaigns before we are going into launch is a great area for us to where we've started using AI in the business. As well, so another area that we've really started to use AI is just for general strategy presentation creation, just getting that flow down. And lastly, I think just audience demographic research as well has been huge for us using AI.
Yeah, we're starting to use AI quite a bit in our business, and you're exactly right. Brainstorming, it moves you forward the days and days when you have the AI to just give you the brainstorm immediately or whatever you want to know. It's critical.
Yeah, I
And
agree. Like it's not going to write like, yeah, you can use it for blog posts, social media content creation. However, I think sometimes it does come off very generic. Where we found a really good happy medium is when you're starting to write something or starting to develop or work on a project. It's not that you're looking at a blank slate or piece of paper, right? You can start generating those ideas and then brainstorm from there and kind of put your own spin on what's been generated from AI.
yeah, and if you're leaving something out that's critical, it will not leave it out, and it will remind you where you should have gone.
Exactly.
That's what I find very useful. And I found if you refine it and define it, it'll get 10 times better than the first choice that comes out of the horse's mouth, the AI horse.
Oh, 100%. I think context is huge. Like being able to explain the problem at hand and kind of guiding it along the way. So giving it context, giving it steps, giving it a role to perform has been huge over the past year as we've learned to work with AI in the business.
Yeah, you get a different answer if you say, how would Abraham Lincoln say it versus how would Jeff Bezos say it?
Exactly. Yes.
Tell me about your company motto at WellOiled Marketing. You have one?
Yes. And it's just get it done for right now. Kind of just like Nike, just do it, but it's just get it done. Like I've said, we're 4 years in, we're learning every single day. And sometimes we have to do things that aren't, always the most pleasant, but we just have to get things done, and we have to have a good spirit and high motivation to get it done. And so that's kind of how we've been working at WellOiled Marketing here.
Yeah. Yeah. Up in New Jersey, they don't use Larry the Cable Guy's "get her done."
Yeah,
That sounds a
I
little bit
like that.
too redneck. Just get it
I like
done.
it. Just
Like
get
it
it done.
too. It's the whole story. Your top skills are really in the ad business, paid ad business, and understanding what that really means, right?
Yes, I guess that you could say that's our bread and butter.
Bread and butter, not the high price spread, huh?
No,
Why would somebody buy from you guys?
great question. So I think that there's three main areas that differentiate us. One is going to be our expertise for how long we've been doing this. Two is going to be our motivation to do it. And third is our process. So we've worked specifically on our business with about 50 different clients. So we know how to get individuals from the discovery call all the way to ad launch in the most effective and efficient time. We've been refining this process for 4 years, and we're really proud of what we've been able to put together. So if you're looking for a agency that's able to get you up and running quickly, efficiently, and knows how to drive results, that's where I think WellOiled Marketing really comes into play for most businesses.
Excellent. Tell me about your ideal client. Who do you like to work with now that you've kind of figured out some of the don't wanters?
Yeah, no, another great question. I think our ideal client is medium-sized companies that have a small but agile marketing team. It's usually individuals who are wearing a lot of different hats that want to grow their business through paid media, but may not have the skill sets to do so, but they have the strategy and thought that paid media is a good avenue for marketing their business. You don't want to work with individuals where you have to be convincing them that advertising and paid media really does work. We like to work with those small teams that have multiple different hats. They believe in paid media, they believe in what we do, and they just need these skill sets and strategy really to execute on that.
Perfect. Now, what's your method to find clients? Marketing companies have to market themselves, right? What are your favorite ways to get clients?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So everyone always asks me, they say, you run a paid media or performance marketing agency. Do you run ads for yourself? And so the true, honest, transparent answer is yes, that we have ran ads for ourselves. And the way that we like to do that is we're writing tons of content and we like to promote that out completely for free. There's no lead generation piece of it. And what we like to do is just push that out to educate individuals more about the tactics that we use. But the real way that I've found to our clients is our network. So I've worked with multiple different individuals across a ton of different industries, and so I really like to work my network to find individuals that were happy with the work that we've previously done for them, or someone told them about us as a referral, and that's really how we've grown our business over the past 4 years.
Would that be the same like word of mouth referral?
Exactly. Yep.
Yep. I always talked about in dentistry, which is my background, 50 years as a dentist, and helping other dental practices be more successful as a coach. 50% of your business should come from word of mouth, and then you pay or use other means for the other 50%. And that's a good mix.
I like that. Yeah, I would say we're probably around that as well. I think what's really nice about the referral model is that it's not starting from ground zero. There's already some trust built into that process. So as you begin doing the sales process, there's that trust, that baseline understanding that the individual in front of me really does know how to complete a project.
Yeah. And it really does take some time to develop the referral basis. So you do have to get some paid media getting off the bat from the very beginning.
Yes.
One thing I did, learning how to crush the competition, I started over at age 48 with my second dental practice, and I read J. Conrad Livingston's book, Guerrilla Marketing, and he had 200 ideas of what you could do, and I did all 200 of them. The thing about it was I crushed my competition quickly in a new town I went to because they weren't doing any marketing, and I was doing something. So, just being active, just what you said, just get it done.
Just get it done.
What do you do to
Yeah.
crush your competition?
So for us, I think right now what we're doing to quote unquote crush the competition is the dedication to the work that we currently have in the business. I hear a lot of the time from new individuals when they're coming to work with our agency that they've been burned by their previous paid media agency. And so where I really like to focus on for our clients is the fulfillment piece of the business. No
Mm.
matter how large well-oiled marketing grows, and how many projects we take on, I always want to ensure that we have the time, dedication, and skill sets in the business to ensure that we can fulfill at the highest value for our clients. And I think from there, that then speaks to the referral business. If people are happy with their business from a fulfillment standpoint, more referrals, more business will come. And so that's our main focus that I really like to drive for everyone at WellOiled Marketing. It's all about fulfillment. I think the competition can do what they want, but for me, internally, it's all about working inside the business to ensure that we can grow.
Yeah, that's refreshing to hear. A lot of people want to get the business, but they don't want to actually take care of their business. So it sounds like you're coming from the heart. You care about your clients, so you really don't want to let them down.
Yeah, I take everything very personally with this business for sure.
Excellent, excellent. So tell me about the well-defined products and services that you do offer. What would somebody actually get on a menu?
Yeah. So, like I said, a performance marketing agency, and there's four main services or offering areas, which is paid media, social media, email marketing, and on-site optimization. And across all of those avenues of marketing, really what you're going to get with us is you're going to get an entire strategy plan of how we would implement that for your business. You're going to get the execution arm, which will actually go in and develop on the plan. And lastly is the reporting. So I think that that's something that's crucial for our business. That may be another differentiator or helps us crush the competition, is that transparency is huge for our business. And the way that we can build transparency for our clients is through our reporting. So we always build dashboards out that are going to show you exactly what you're getting from your paid media or any of the other marketing avenues that we're running for your business.
And building it out means that you individually set it up for each client to go and look anytime they want to.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty novel. I don't think everybody does that one.
Yeah, I think reporting is a huge differentiator for us for sure.
Is there any best way that to integrate AI into your daily workflow to enhance somebody's business so that is it possible for the business you're working with to utilize the AI?
Yeah, I think once again, I really like AI as a brainstorming tool. I work on a variety of different projects on a daily basis. And instead of starting from point blank nothing at a sheet, I really like to use AI to give context about what the problem is that I'm trying to solve, begin to brainstorm, and then throw in my own experiences to guide AI. So nothing in particular from a workflow, but I just think brainstorming in general is a great area.
Yeah, I'll tell you a quick story. My friend Sadiq and I daily walk around the park as part of our accountability exercise program. We're business partners working on projects, but we also work out together. And we started talking about AI a year and a half ago. Didn't know anything about it, just had heard about it. And now it's fully integrated into our business process. And we use it every single day. And even on our walk, we're talking, capturing the talk. And when we get back home, we have a summary of it sitting in our email, exactly what we talked about. Not a word is missed. And so if we come up with something that's unique and useful, we've got it recorded. We don't have to even write down the notes. So AI is really, really excellent for meetings, summaries, and saving what you might have missed.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. I think about a year ago, we started using an AI tool for meeting recordings as well. And it's been a huge difference for us just to be able to go back, look at those recordings and not have to remember every single thing that's happening in the meeting. I think what's also great about that is that I can be immersed in the meeting. I can have a full conversation with you, be focused on exactly what's happening while we're talking rather than having to be scribbling down notes about things that I have to do after the call for you.
It's hard to
But
hear and write accurately at the same time, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah, we have crossed the void that used to be the biggest problem with listening to professors and getting the notes down. Talk about platforms. What do you like to use that your company relies on? Some of the mainline platforms.
Yeah, I think so. We're a Google Workspace business. I think it's great for small businesses from email to Google Drive. We also use Fathom for our video recording. From there, other kind of products that we're using is we're starting to dabble in HubSpot from a CRM perspective. So those are some of the main things right now that we're using in the business.
Yeah. So the value that you receive from, say, Google platform is connectivity, ease of use, or freedom.
Oh yes, what I really like about Google Drive is that it's very easy and interactive to send, be able so for everyone to be able to access documents in our business as well as to be able to access documents across different devices. So say I'm on the road and I want to look at something on my phone quickly. I think that it's having accessibility to everything in the business in one spot has been a huge difference for us.
If you think about the platforms that you use and like, what's missing? What's the one thing you wish they would add?
I think something that I would like that have been added to these platforms is, we've been talking about it today. So different AI features to, for example, on the email side, be able to summarize my inbox would be a huge time saver for me as I do time blocking to respond to emails on a daily basis. I think that would be a huge feature that I would love to see built into Workspace.
Yep. Those people who are developers, programmers that are listening, there's a wish list item right there for you.
Yeah.
So based on your experience, talk about paid revenues and paid ads, Facebook and Google primarily. How much do you advise people to spend on paid digital media as a percentage of their ad spend or their budget in marketing?
Yeah, great question. And so the answer is always it depends, but I think a baseline average across all of our clients is that we do recommend about a 30% of revenue be budgeted to paid media. That's going to allow you to really grow the business. As on average, we should be able to hit a 200% ROI on that money. If we're doing a really good job, we should be able to increase it to about 300% ROI. So I think that that's a good happy median to start growing the business as you begin to scale.
Okay, that's worth repeating the metrics that you gave. KPI for paid digital media, 30% of your paid media should be of your total marketing budget, and you should be getting 200 to 300% ROI. I think
Yes.
everybody should be happy with those numbers.
I agree.
So if you're not getting that kind of a return on your investment, you might want to talk to Nick real quick.
Yes, I appreciate it.
What about a 5-star client experience? Is there something you do besides the personal touch?
Yeah, I think what really separates us on this 5-star client experience and something that I really pride ourselves on for the business and that we've been refining for the past 4 years is the onboarding and fulfillment process. There, buyer's remorse is a real thing especially when you see the price tag for working with an agency. So what I really pride ourselves on is building out that onboarding process from day one when you sign the contract to the actual day that the campaigns launch. What does that process look like for our clients? How can they be updated? How can they be informed on the work that's being done from a paid media perspective? And that's why we put a lot of time into our onboarding process. And I think that's what really gives that 5-star client experience. Once you're onboarded and campaigns are running, the one other portion of the business that I really pride ourselves on, and what we've already talked about, is fulfillment. So being able to really deliver the results that clients are promised is huge for us. And that's why we dedicate a ton of time into training and making sure that our fulfillment processes are the best that they can be.
Marketers are notorious for aggressive of getting a business and notorious for falling down on the follow-up and the onboarding. So did you come from a background where you were doing more of that, and that's why you're so much focused on it?
I think my background was really focused on the fulfillment side. And so that's where I did see items that were lacking at times. However, I never had the experience of really onboarding an individual. So I just started doing a ton of research online and figuring out the best way to onboard someone over the past 4 years. And like I said, I keep saying 4 years because this process has been, we've been iterating and growing and finding new opportunities to, build out the best process we possibly can. Our day one process to what it is now is completely different. So it was just really a learning experience for us.
Excellent. I like the answer. It really did resonate well. I think everybody's listening is probably going, yeah, onboarding, hand holding when we really need it to get started right is the key. Converting your clients to brand ambassadors really is a necessity if you want to get referrals. What do you do specifically to bring them along to become your top referral sources?
Yeah, I think two main areas really to focus on. Well, first we'll take it back to fulfillment, right? No one's going to refer you if you're not fulfilling on your promise and driving results. So yeah, I've already talked about it, but we focus a lot of time in fulfillment. And the second portion of that is asking. I think a lot of times in life, people just don't ask for what they want. And so after we've worked for a few months and we've driven success, have that conversation with your client. In the beginning, it is a little bit awkward or weird, but say, hey, do you know anyone else that's looking for our types of services? I think a lot of people, there's that saying, if you don't ask, you don't want. They're a little afraid to reach out with that olive branch, but I think it's worth the conversations. And as you grow the experience in them, you'll kind of learn how to navigate them.
Yeah, one of my main mentors said, if you don't have, it's because you haven't asked. Same thing you just said. And it's even biblical, ask, seek, and knock are part of the process.
Yes.
You got to actually knock on the door before somebody's going to open it.
Agreed.
And when they open it, then you got to ask a question.
Yeah.
What about yourself personally? What are you grateful for today, Nick?
Yeah, I think I'm grateful to have WellOiled marketing, to have this experience in my life where every day I get to wake up and I have an opportunity to grow and learn. And I'm super grateful for the support system. My wife and family are always behind me. This journey isn't easy. And I think one other thing or another big shout out that I'm super grateful for my two other partners. They've been along on this journey for 4 years, and it's been incredible to see us grow all as individuals.
That's great to have a team that's putting it together and still sticks together. What's your
Yes.
day like? When do you start and how do you get going?
Oh yeah. So I guess this is one of the more cliche entrepreneurial things that I do, but I do really like waking up early in the morning and having, my thoughts to myself. So I try to roll out of bed before 5 a.m. And really what I like to do to start my day is I just go on a walk around my town. I like to leave the phone at home, and I just like to think about, whatever pops into my head, whether it be about work, nature, or just nothing at all. I like to take, 15, 20 minutes every morning just to walk outside, touch some grass before I go in and start my day.
That's pretty close to what we're doing, with one exception. Sadiq and I go out together. He starts his day at 3 o'clock in the morning. I start mine at 6 o'clock in the morning, and we meet at 7. So he's had a half a day before he even gets to the walk. But he deals with people all over the world, so he chooses to work from 3 in the morning until 4 in the afternoon. That's crazy hours, but he does it, Everybody has their special hour of the day that they're the best. And I think morning is my productive time. Sounds like yours too.
Yes.
If you have a challenge, is there something special that you do? What do you do to overcome that challenge?
Yeah, I think this almost goes back to the last question, which is routine. I'm a big believer in having a good routine. I think that there's another famous saying that we can only fall as far as our systems allow us. And so that's why I've built a routine for myself of every day I have to do these tasks, and at the end of the day I have to do these tasks. I think routine allows us to um, you have that safety net. So, life does get hard. Things are challenging. Things pop up that you may not have expected. But if you have a routine that you can follow, that's always your baseline. You'll know you'll get those things done for the day. And just get those things done repeatedly, continuously, and then you'll be able to get back on track. So that's kind of how I deal with challenges in my life.
Yeah, yeah. You hit on one that really made me think of my life. I've got like two parts to my life. I was a dentist for 50 years, and I ran on a 10-minute schedule, and I would block 10-minute blocks for each patient, 3 different columns, seeing patients, and we would book so specifically those 10 minutes to where I would know how many hours, how many minutes I would be in each room. My assistant would be there before me, then I would come in, then she would be there, and we planned the whole day out. Well, when I retired from dentistry this year and been doing this particular thing, the podcast business and marketing, I didn't have a system. So my day was like unorganized. I'd been totally organized all my life. Somebody else ran it for me. I just showed up and worked. And then when I became an entrepreneur, I had to create my own schedule. And that ability to have a calendar, like my schedule at the dental office, was totally foreign to me, that I would set it up and run it myself and give other people the opportunity to get on my schedule without me being able to plan it. So as a marketer, how do you arrange your conversations? Because you got to have a lot of conversations every day, half of them with new clients or potential clients, and half of them with existing clients, and maybe a third with your team. So how do you organize your day around a calendar?
Yeah, I've never actually thought about it, but if I was to, I would say 80% of my day is spent on that fulfillment piece for our clients. So 80% of my week, I would say, is definitely on the fulfillment of completing projects and getting tasks done. The other 20% is, I guess, working on the business, right? So focusing on sales, on operations, on the marketing portion of our business. So I try to at least dedicate one full day a week to just growing the business.
Okay, so you wear several hats on different days of the week, primarily. I gotcha.
Yep. I think, as we grow, things will change, but that's just right now where we are in the business, is that everyone has to work both on fulfillment and growing the business.
Absolutely. So what's your overall goal for WellOiled marketing?
Yeah, that's another great question. So I think, it's hard to see where we're going to be in 20 years, but I like to think of goals in like 3 to 5 years. So hopefully within 3 to 5 years, we're looking to have, 5 full-time employees working on the business. I like to say that will be a successful agency. I will be out of like that growth start era, and we have a specific revenue goal that we'll want to reach within those 5 years.
Okay. So you want to grow, you want to double the size of your company, triple it over a period of time, and you have a game plan to do that.
Yep.
What about your advice? If you're talking to yourself as a young man, 20 years old, you got to be at least 23 now.
Yeah.
You're not 50 years into anything right now, but you will one day look back and go, here's what I should have done or would have done. What's that advice?
Yeah. Definitely a little bit younger, as you said, but I think for me, if I could talk to my younger self, it's that every situation that we've gone through with the business or in life is just an opportunity for growth. And, if we really change that perspective of this isn't a challenge, but this is just an opportunity for me to learn and grow, so that the next time I have to face this opportunity or challenge, I know exactly how I should go about it. It makes, going through some of those hard times a little bit easier, because you can just tell yourself, next time this happens, I'll know exactly what I have to do here. And I guess one other piece of advice is just get started. The earliest years are the hardest years. After that, you'll build up clients, you'll build up resources, you'll build up relationships with people that make your day-to-day much easier. Beginning is always the hardest.
I totally agree with you. The second, third time you do something, it's a lot easier. As I mentioned earlier, I started over at age 48. And I was able to surpass in 3 years what I had taken 20 years to do previously.
Wow.
So,
See?
and
So
we
always
didn't
learning.
stop. We didn't stop there. We added $500,000 a year to our business for 10 straight years. So we grew on a pretty straight level just by doing it, as you say. And you have to add team members, of course. You can't do it all yourself.
Yep.
Who's your living mentor? You have somebody right now that's your main partner in learning and motivation?
Yeah, I think this is probably another one of those cliche answers, but it is my father. So he started his own business. A big shout out to Management Science Consulting. And so just watching over the years of growing up and seeing him, his passion, his dedication for his business has been huge. I actually, it's funny enough, just got off the call today with him 10 minutes before the interview or this call and just, was talking to him about the business and asked him for some advice on something we're going through. And so yeah, he's been a huge impact on me growing the business and one of the best mentors I could have asked for.
And you know what? He's very proud what you are doing, and anything that a dad can see their kids doing makes them proud. When they're successful, it's even better.
Hopefully, I appreciate it.
What do you want to be remembered for, Nick, when it's all said and done?
Oof, that's a very, very good question. I think there's two things. It's really my humility and my discipline to the people around me, whether that's clients, family, or friends. I really just want to be remembered as a humble and dedicated individual that was always there to support and help.
Well, I think you're well on your way. It sounds like it to me. Very humble, but very dedicated. How can we support you at the Influencer Podcast, get you more business, more well known?
Yeah, definitely. Well, this is a great start. So if there's anyone that's listening today and they're thinking about exploring opportunities to grow their business, please reach out to WellOiled Marketing. I'm always here to listen in, and I'd love to help you grow your business through paid media, social media, email marketing, and on-site optimization.
And they can find you where?
At welloiledmarketing.com.
And WellOiled has a hyphen in the middle of it.
Yes.
And you're on LinkedIn.
Yes, I'm on LinkedIn, but the best place to reach out is through the contact form on the website.
Gotcha. So what about your experience on the Influencer Podcast today? We're 195 countries, people watch us, and we have many media outlets that are, carrying this live right now. What do you have to say about your experience on the show today?
Well, first, I would like to appreciate Dr. Williams for allowing me the time to come on today. This was my first ever podcast experience. So once again, another one of those learning opportunities here 4 years into the business. But what I want to take away from today or my experience is, this really kind of made me reflect on the past 4 years. And I think that we just move so quickly in life that sometimes we don't sit down and really reflect on our own journey. So it was good to have these questions, and I'll definitely be thinking about that for the rest of the day and probably into the weekend here.
Yeah, it's very true. Sometimes the questions we ask stimulate people to think about things they haven't really put down on paper or thought about, and it jogs them to go, oh, I can do that. I can do that. And it's a good resource for some that never thought about it. I'm proud that I was your first podcast experience because I would have never known it. You've done extremely well, succinct with your answers, to the point, interesting too. So thanks for being here for us. And with that, I'm going to give you the final word before I come back and speak to the audience. So Nick, it's all yours, and I'll be back when you're done.
I guess my is just remember, no matter what you're going through in life, I really like to lean on the phrase, this too shall pass. So the highs and lows, no matter what in life, it's just an opportunity to learn and grow. And I really appreciate the experience today and to be able to talk to everyone.
Okay. Thank you, Nick, for that. The final word is excellent word. And we're always glad to have superstars, rising superstars in the Influencer Podcast team here. The word that you put out is going to reverberate around the world. People will learn a lot from what you had to say. and they'll be better for it. So thank you for adding to what we've done. And if you want to capture freedom, talking about our business at Influencer Podcast, you can go to these QR codes and kind of connect with me. One of them at the top with my picture on it is the digital business card I have from OVU, which kind of connects you to me in many ways. One of them is the Influencer Podcast, of course, where we are right now. You'll find all my different sessions from previous year. We've got about 142 different podcasts that we've done, interviewed business leaders from around the USA and some foreign countries. We also will talk about AI technology quite a bit, things that you can download for free to use. I want to encourage everybody who's listening, including you, Nick, if you haven't gone to our website, and this is a shortened URL, we use our own technology to highlight what's possible. You can download for free our OTrim software product and shorten a URL to get a custom name for your long URL for your company. If you've got an internal page, for instance, a landing page that has some strange looking 55 letters behind it and numbers, well, you can shorten it to be just WellOiled. So you could do otrim.co/WellOiled, for instance, and send that to people. And it has tracking ability, so you know who opened it, when they opened it, where they're from, etc. And it also will build a QR code for you. All that's for free. So we give that away, and we always encourage people to go here, try it out, look at it. Nothing you have to buy, but it's definitely a lot of fun. And then we have, special things for marketers like trackers. So we got more advanced analytics, more advanced than even Google Analytics. So things like that are the future. What we're doing with AI technology is going to change the way people work online. So with that, I want to thank you, Nick, for being part of our network. You're part of the Influencer Podcast group now, and we'll look to support you and do whatever we can to plus your business and keep an eye on what we're doing at Influencer Podcast. You guys in the audience, thank you for being here today. We'll see you again later with another session on the Influencer Podcast. It's Dr. Bill Williams saying, have a good weekend.